Today's video, we are going to be focusing on the Evo X Final Edition. This video is part of my Evo 101 video series. For more information on Evos, learning about Evos, please see my Evo 101 playlist. I also have additional Evo playlists if you are further along in your Evo journey. Definitely check those out as well. I'm trying to think of ways to give back to you guys that are supporting me by following the channel and commenting and liking, all that good stuff. If you guys have Instagram and you want me to share your Instagram on a future video, I'm more than happy to do that. I could post them up at the start of videos. Basically, you're an Evo person. Other people watching these videos are Evo people, so, you know, it helps other people find each other. And I don't know, if you guys are interested in that, DM me on Instagram that you want that, and I will do it. For those of you new to my channel, there's nothing out there. You're crazy. Lotus, come on. You need to lay down, buddy. Lay down. No, you're not tall enough to see out that window. You're getting there, though. Okay, now on to today's topic, and you better sit down, buckle up, because it is going to be a long one, and it sucks for you that you don't even have the Recaro seats anymore. In this video, we're going to cover the Evo X FE Final Edition. So this video has 5 parts. First part is what was the Final Edition. The second part is what made the Final Edition special. The third part is going to be Final Edition specific options. Part 4, who should or shouldn't buy an Evo X Final Edition. And part 5 is fixing the problem, which I will get more into when we get there. Okay, part 1. What was the Final Edition? Officially, it was a final farewell. Officially, it was a final farewell. Officially, it was a final farewell. Farewell. Officially, it was a final farewell to one of the most unstoppable platforms, period, in racing, specifically rally racing. I mean, they only had 1 championship win, but you need to lay down. Go lay down. Go on. Unofficially, it was an insulting end to one of the best models Mitsubishi had ever had. Up there with the DSMs, the VR4s, and a few VCRs apparently. To learn more about VCRs, please visit your local library. How Mitsubishi came to insult its best car ever will probably always remain a mystery, but I do have one theory I'd like to share with you guys, and it goes something like this. Somewhere in Japan, there was a board meeting with some VPs, and they were having a conversation. One of them said, you know, this new Mirage, it's just really not lighting up the internet like we thought it would. Sales just aren't there. The press doesn't seem to care about it. It's just not doing it. Frankly, aside from some hate we're getting over our new Eclipse crossover, still don't know why, we really don't have much of a presence right now. So, to stir up some excitement, I've come up with a solution. You know all those leftover Evos out back? Well, what we're gonna do is we're going to add some fancy badging, some paint, and, you know, just some other random parts we can find. I haven't quite worked out the details, but we'll figure it out. And we are gonna call it, wait for it, not Special Edition, but Final Edition. Huh? Yeah? Now, what I need is whatever the Japanese equivalent to the name Johnson is. Johnson, call marketing. Let them know that we're going to be announcing a new Evo X edition. Johnson calling marketing. Yes, marketing. We are launching a new Evo X edition. I need you guys to prep. We're going to need some press releases, some photos, the whole 9 yards. Great. Yeah, that's Evolution. EVOLUTION. Yep. No, it's not a DVD player. Part 2. What actually makes the Final Edition special? On a more serious note, the Final Edition is a special Evo, but it's not because of a badge or some sodium-filled valves or a black painted roof. The Final Edition is special because all 2015 Evos are special. Aww. Because they are the last. Whatever comes of Mitsubishi in the future, with the new Nissan partnership, there may be great things. I don't know. I'm not saying good or bad. I don't have a thought on that really right now. All I know is it's not going to be the same. And change can be good, but the era that the Evo came out of, that is gone. The Mitsubishi that created the Evo, that company no longer exists. Yes, the 2015 Evo 10s are virtually indistinguishable from a 2008 Evo 10. Yes, you could find Evo 10 2015s for sale brand new. Well, technically you can still find them brand new because nobody's interested in them, because nothing changed really in several years. But the fact remains, it was still an Evo built by Mitsubishi, and we will never have that again. If you guys have followed some of my videos, you know that the Evo 9s and 8s are by far my favorites. But the 10, I still enjoy the 10 a lot. I owned one. I would have no issue owning another one. It's still a phenomenal car. While I've always advocated for buying used cars, the 2015 Evo was a car that I really did want to buy new. And we had the opportunity, as luck or misfortune would have it. We were in a position where we were buying a car when there were still plenty of 2015 Evo 10s for sale that were brand new. I really have no doubt that with negotiating and maybe just bumping our budget a little bit, we couldn't have gotten a brand new Evo 10. It may have been a GSR instead of an MR or something, I don't know, but we could have done it. Obviously, my motivation behind that was I love the platforms. I would keep this car for a very long time. The reason I never explored that option when we were shopping though is for one glaring issue that I will talk about here in a moment, but I think you probably know what it is already. Part 3. Final edition specific options. There's quite a few here, so I'm just gonna read these off, and I do wanna let you know that these are options that make it unique to other GSRs. Some of this stuff though is available on an MR though. So we have, and this is probably the biggest difference, is those sodium filled valves that I was talking about earlier. Those actually equate for the 12 horsepower increase and I don't know, roughly the same torque. It's hard to know with Japanese car companies. They're so screwy with their whole gentleman's agreement on horsepower numbers, how much horsepower an Evo 10 really has. Fact of the matter is, whatever, it's got a few more horsepower than a stock Evo. That's all you really need to know. It has the Bilstein shocks, which come straight from an Evo MR. It has the iBox springs, again, Evo MR. It has HIDs, and it has the two-piece Brembo rotors, again, from an MR. We'll caution you though, those things are expensive to replace. Things that are truly unique to it is it does obviously have the FE badging. You also see that repeat on the interior and such. It has a painted black roof, which looks cool, especially on like the white and the red. It has... Dude just needs to chill. Our neighbors across the street, I don't know what they're doing, but that's why he's getting upset. This pup will alert you of a squirrel 3 counties over. Enzo's more of a wait till they get within a range that I deem unacceptable for my safety before I will make a fuss about it. Lotus though, nah, he's a shoot first, ask questions later. Aren't you? Yeah. All right, the inky wheels, they are dark chrome gloss painted. The front grille is also dark chrome as opposed to just regular chrome in an MR. Center bumper and hood air outlet. So basically the hood scoop and the center bumper that you typically see on an MR that is chrome is gonna be gloss black. And then the hood vent is going to be black as well, where it is typically black, but it's not gloss black. Color options, there's new pearl white, octane blue, rally red, and mercury gray. Now on the inside, it did have some differences that you couldn't get on even an MR, and that is they continued with this black theme in that the A-pillars, the visors, the whole headliner, and the O handles are all black, which it's actually kind of a nice touch. Our Focus ST is like that. I definitely prefer that. Center console is gloss, just like in an MR. It does have another final edition plaque on it with the number, 1 of 16 in the US, or 1 of 1600 in the US. And finally, red stitching on the seats, the floor mats, the center armrest, similar to the special editions back in 2006. It does take it a bit farther with the steering wheel and the shift knob. Now, Enzo, why are we up now? Was Lotus bothering you? Oh, and I almost forgot. On the startup, it does the final edition animation. So you have that. All of this from an MSRP of only $37,995. All right, part 4. Who should buy one? Frankly, anyone with cash to burn, because there's still one for sale. Brooklyn Mitsubishi is never going to sell that Evo 10 for 80 grand that the whole world knows they paid 43 for. Enzo, come on. Seriously though, the final edition is only for sentimental people. Generally speaking, that would include me when it comes to the Evos, but it's got the main issue, and I kind of alluded to this earlier, but that is, and it's It's just something I can't get past. It doesn't have the Recaro seats. You're going to pay a little premium for a final edition. Definitely if you bought it new, because they're probably not going to deal as much on them. And even in the used market right now, they're asking higher numbers. So if you buy one of those, you need to really plan on keeping it. Now, sure, life happens, things happen, but this shouldn't be one of those where I bought a final edition and 6 months later it's like, well, I found a good deal on an M3, so I have to sell this. No, you don't have to sell this. You need to be sure that you're going to keep this car for a while, which is why I strongly suggest that if you have never owned an Evo, do not make the final edition your first Evo. Lastly, if you do buy a final edition, do not mod it, do not drill into it, do not do stupid, you know what I'm talking about, the stupid stuff people do to cars, especially Evos. Don't do it. None of this fender pulling, none of this, I don't know, swapping out interior. You buy a final edition because you want that sentimentality. And you can't want that and then rip everything out. It's just silliness. If you want to tint the windows, I'm okay with that. Even if Mitsubishi isn't willing to respect the Evo enough to give it a proper send-off, you as the buyer should, is really my opinion on that. Part 5, fixing the problem. Now, I alluded to this earlier, and the problem is the seats. Well, there's other problems with Mitsubishi as a whole, but the final edition, my biggest issue with it is the seats. Now, something changed with the regulations and those were no longer compliant, probably because they shoot shards of glass or metal at you, who knows. But Mitsubishi, rather than redesigning them, gave us the base Lancer seats. They did do the stitching red, so, you know, give them some credit there. Now, if you've never experienced an Evo, this may not matter to you, but trust me, it does. Drive an Evo with the Recaro seats, drive it without, and don't even drive it without. Like, it's just, you can't go back without these seats. Granted, these are Evo 8 seats. Well, 9 as well, but technically these are 8s. The 10 seats are even better. To have an Evo without those seats is losing part of its soul, in my opinion. And I've heard some rumors. All Evo 10 seats bolt into all other Evo 10s. All you have to do is import the proper seats or take them out of a 2014 Evo 10. I would prefer to import actual final edition seats because they will have the red stitching. I guess you could have somebody stitch the red in there, but I would just prefer it all to look right if you're going to go through that kind of hassle with the final edition. So what do you do? Canada. Yeah, that's right. The place where it snows a lot up north, they have Evo 10 final editions as well. They have the proper seats. Simply import a set from Canada. They bolt right in. You're done. Now, you could import them from any other country. It's just Canada's going to be the easiest. Do note that sometimes different markets, they are actually different size seats. So just FYI on that. In closing, I know I've hated a lot on this car in this video, in previous videos, probably will still in future videos, but just know that my hatred isn't geared towards the car itself or anybody who buys the car. It's really at the fact of what the car represented, and that is the pinnacle of Mitsubishi not giving a fuck anymore. And for that reason alone, I hate. Okay, the camera died and I didn't realize, which is probably just as well. I kind of ranted there for a bit. It's not really relevant. Oh, hi, Rally Cat. Short for Rally Art. You know, if you bought the car or if you have a final edition or you want to buy a final edition, you know, comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Again, not hating on anybody who has them. Just... Alright, I got to end this video at this point. This is too much. This is like my 5th take because of camera issues and puppy issues. Get off the camera. Instagram links for Lotus here, Enzo, and myself below. DM me if you want me to feature you in a future video. Ask me any questions you have about your personal Evos or buying an Evo. I'm happy to answer them any way I can. With that being said, like if that's your thing, subscribe to follow along. I appreciate all the subscribers that I get. Appreciate you guys watching, and you guys have a great day. We'll see you on the next one.
You might even make the lane walk if you would only talk to the Lord. You might even make the lane walk if you would only talk to the Lord. You might even make the lane walk if you would only talk to the Lord. You might even make the lane walk if you would only talk to the Lord. only talk to the Lord, you might even make the land walk. If you would only talk to the Lord,